So in angle relationships, you flip open the first part. Adjacent angles are two angles that share a side. Two angles that share a side. And I'm going to draw you a picture. I'm going to draw a first angle. And I'm going to label it D, E, B. And is that one angle? Yeah. What could you call that angle? What's a name? What would be the name for that specific angle? What's one name, Luis? It's an acute angle. What else about that angle? What are some names? Use the letters. I could call this angle DEB, or I could call it BED. Those are two ways of naming that angle. I'm going to draw an adjacent angle. There are two angles up there. The first angle you told me was DEB or BED. What's the second angle? Raise your hand. Who can tell me the second angle? There are two angles in that picture. The first angle is DEB. What would be the second angle in this picture, Alexis? BEM. There are two angles up there. There's this angle and there's this angle. There are two adjacent angles. How do I know they're adjacent? What do they share? A side. And what is that side that they share? They share EB. That's the same, right? Both angles have E and B in them. They're adjacent. They touch. In fact, adjacent angles also have the same vertex. Vertex is a fancy word for the corner of an angle. What's the vertex of these two? E. These are adjacent angles. Do you see them? Are there questions about adjacent angles? Let's turn the page, flip open one page. We're now on to vertical angles. You didn't get any of it? Paige, take out your earbuds. Oh, no. They're stuck here now. Got it. All right, we got to move to vertical angles. Up top, we're going to put our definition of vertical angles on the top flap. Vertical angles are formed by two intersecting lines. Vertical angles are formed by two intersecting lines. What does it mean to intersect? Skylar? Yeah, they cross over each other. An intersection is where two roads cross. Intersecting lines. Here's how to remember. They are opposite each other. They are opposite each other. If one's on top, the other's on. If one's on the left, the other's on the. They are not adjacent. Adjacent angles touch. Vertical angles are opposite. Let's draw a picture. A, B, C. D, E. Let's talk vertical angles. I'm going to give you an angle. You tell me what's vertical to it. Are you ready? My first angle is angle right here. What's that called? Angle A, B, D. What's it vertical to? What's opposite A, B, D? Luis? Good. C, B, E. Those are vertical angles. Alexis, put it away, please. If this angle right here was 40 degrees, what do you think its vertical angle would be? What? Yeah, they're the same. Are there any other vertical angles in this problem? Yeah, there are. Jordan, what's one of them? ABC. Angle ABC is vertical to what? Yeah, they're opposite. And if ABC was 140 degrees, what would DBE measure? Because vertical angles are equal. So let's do some algebra. Are you ready? Because of course it's not going to be that easy. All right, I'm going to tell you that angle ABC is 2x plus 10 degrees. Isaac, please write this down. Angle ABC is 2x plus 10. Is that algebra? Yeah. And I'm also going to tell you that angle DBE is 4x degrees. ABC is 2x plus 10. And DBE is 4x. What kind of relationship does ABC have with DBE? What kind of relationship? How are those two angles related to each other? What kind of angles are A, B, C, and D, B, E. What kind of relationship do they have, Colin? They're vertical. So what does that mean? What do we know about vertical angles? They're what? They're opposite each other, and they're what? What about their measurements? They're equal. So I can set this angle and I can make it equal to this angle. How come I can set them equal to each other? Because they're equal. They're vertical angles. And vertical angles, by definition, are equal. They're the same. They're opposite each other. Can you solve this problem? Yeah. We did them for bow work, in fact. The left side, 2x plus 10, cannot be simplified. And the right side, 4x, cannot be simplified. So I'm just going to have to skip the simplify and move the smaller variable, which is, so I'm going to subtract 2x. What's left over? 10 degrees equals 4x minus 2x is 2x degrees. Am I done? What do I do? What's my last step? Divide by 2. So x equals 5 degrees. But you guys, I'm going to tell you even now you're not done. Because ABC is not 5 degrees, and DEB is not 5 degrees. What equals 5 degrees? X.
So you have to take 2 times 5, 4 times 5.
What's that called in math? I'm going to have to take the variable and substitute. Instead of the value of x, I'm going to put in the number 5. 2 times 5 is
10,
plus 10.
20.
So angle ABC equals 20 degrees. And angle DBE, instead of the variable 5, I'm going to substitute the value of, or instead of the variable x, I'm going to substitute the value of 5. 4 times 5 is, should these two things be equal?
Yeah.
Why?
Because the vertical angles.
Vertical angles are equal. If you have a problem where it says find the missing value and they're vertical angles, you just set them equal to each other. So now let's go to a different type of angle. Complementary. Complementary angles are two adjacent angles. What does it mean that they're adjacent?
That means they're sharing the thing.
They share a side. Two adjacent angles that have a sum. What does sum mean?
Addition.
When I add them together, of 90 degrees. So two angles that touch, they're adjacent. They have a sum, so when I add those two values together, when I add angle 1 plus angle 2, I should get a sum, an answer of 90 degrees. So let's draw a picture. MAT is my first angle, and TAH is my second angle. How do I know that these make a 90 degree? How am I gonna, what can you put in this picture that shows me 90 degrees? What can I add to my already beautiful, if I say so, picture that will make it show 90 degrees, Paige. Put a little box in the corner. That tells me it is 90 degrees. It's a right angle. So if I add MAT, I get that and it's 60. And I add TAH and that's 30. When I add them together, what should I get as my answer? 90. So let's do some algebra. Ready? Angle MAT. Angle MAT is 6x plus 10 degrees. And angle TAH is 2x degrees. And looking at my picture, I could even, put this in here. Right? Can I figure out what each one really does measure? Yeah. Because what do they already make? 90. They already make 90 degrees. So I should take them and add them together. 6x plus 10 degrees plus 2x degrees. And if I add both of these together, what should my answer be? 90 degrees. Isaac and Tyson, or Tanner, heads up. All right, let's look at the left-hand side. If I add the first angle and the second angle, I should get 90 degrees. So looking at this side, what can be combined?
6x and 2x.
6x and 2x makes what?
8x.
8x plus 10 degrees equals 90 degrees, correct?
Yeah.
Is that it?
No. No. No, you still got equal.
Then I subtract 10 degrees. And I have 8x equals 80 degrees. Then I divide by 8. X equals 10 degrees. Is that my answer? Wait a second, what? I just did all that work. How come that's not my answer?
You have to substitute the x into the
I have to take that value
60 plus
and put it back into my original value. 6x means 6 times 10, which is 60, plus 10 is,
10.
so angle MAT equals 70 degrees. And angle TAH, well, 2x, so 2 times 10 is 20 degrees. Wait a second, how come those aren't equal to each other? Last time they were equal.
Because they're not
Last time, what kind of angles were they? Vertical angles.
vertical.
Hi. Why are they not equal to each other?
Because they're not vertical.
They're not vertical angles, they are complementary. Meaning they should add up to be what?
They should add 90.
Does 70 plus 20 equal 90?
Yeah.
Perfect. Last one. Supplementary. Two adjacent angles that have a sum of 180 degrees. So they're almost exactly the same, except this time instead of getting 100 or 90 degrees, we get 180 degrees. All right, here's my picture. Are those two angles adjacent? Yeah, what do they share? What side? They share ES. And together, what do they equal? 180. So let's do some algebra. Angle BES is equal to 10x plus 12 degrees. I can even write that in here. Angle BES is equal to 10x plus 12 degrees. And angle SET is 2x degrees.
What's the little?
Means angle. It looks like that, so you don't say, is that a greater than sign or a less than sign or an L or half a 2? All right, so looking at this picture, these are supplementary angles. They make a straight line. They should have a sum of what? 180. So what should I do with 10x plus 12 and 2x? Are they equal to each other? Are they the same? Are these the same? No. So what should I do with them? Add them together. 10x plus 12 degrees plus 2x degrees equals, and this time what does it equal? 180 degrees. Because these ones are supplementary. Supplementary makes a straight line. Look. That's what 180 is. So, is this my answer?
Oh.
10x plus 2x is 12x plus 12 degrees equals 180 degrees. Am I done? Minus 12 degrees. 12x equals 168 degrees. Am I done? Divide by 12. X equals 14 degrees. What? My answer is 14 degrees?
No, you gotta add it in.
I have to substitute that back into the original problem. 10 times x, 10 times 14 is 140 plus 12.
152.
BES is 152 degrees. SET, 2 times 14 is... How come these aren't the same?
Because
When you add them together, because they are supplementary,
not vertical.
they should add to be 180.